Hello guys, we come up with a new video in Learn How to Code. Today we will learn the concept of finding the average of some numbers and then assigning grades to them. We will learn this concept by an idea of grading system introduced in schools, colleges, universities, etc. So in that particular scenario, name of student is taken and then we will enter all his marks obtained in all subjects and then we will sum them and find its average and then assign grades to that student. So we will do the same. Let's start our video. We will take the data of only one student to understand the concept. You can use many other concepts, many other ideas to do anything or to find averages of some more students or averages of one class, one's average in one subject, etc. So let's start. First we have to take name of student. Now we have to take value from users. Firstly we have to declare some data types. We will declare string here. We can't enter a name or a long sentence in any data type excluding string. Means we have to enter a line or a long name in string. And secondly we have to take allow to take values after space and enter, but getLine takes value until we enter. It takes space and other things, but scene has limitation that it does not take. So scene, the syntax of getLine and string is explained in my previous videos. You can watch to learn this concept in. So it's showing an error here. We know that for string and for getLine means to take value from user, we have to take here a library for string, which is include string. So for string we have to enter a library called include string. So here we have entered the program. Here asks the user to enter the name and the user have entered its name to program. As you know that we have so many subjects, we will take the data of only 6 to 8 subjects. So we have to assign here 6 variables. Firstly, as you know that numbers can be in points, so we will assign float data type to them. Float, suppose bio, chemistry, English, physics, maths, and you can say that Urdu and philosophy. Here we have assigned 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 subjects, and now we will get the data of these 7 subjects from user. So what we will do? Simple. First we will write that enter the marks of biology. Apply handle scene bio. The marks entered by user for biology is stored in bio variable. Now the same we do for other. So we will copy it and paste for other. 1 2 3 5. Now first for bio, then for chemistry. Here we also add chem. Now the chemistry marks will be stored in chem biotype variable. So now here English, and we will English, physics, then maths. You can simply increase and decrease your subjects. Mathematics, I am just using 7 to understand, to clear the concept how to find average and how to find sum. Sum is taught in previous videos, but we are using that concept again. At the end we have philosophy. Philosophy. We use philosophy. variable for philosophy marks. Here the name and the marks in each subject is entered by user. We will enter just see out and to make that program beautiful. Now after executing, the program will ask the user to enter the name of student, then to enter the marks of these 7 subjects. Then what we will do, these marks are stored in their respective variables, the variables assigned to them. Now what will we do? Here we declare another variable named as sum, where in this we will add all marks, bio, chemistry. We are not adding variables, we are adding the values assigning to variable, but we cannot add directly, so we will add variables. English, as values are assigned to variables. Physics plus math, Urdu, and at the end we have philosophy. Here all 7 subject marks are summed up. Now for average, we know that we have to sum all the values and then to divide it by total number. So here declare another variable named as average equal to, for average what we have to do, sorry for it, float, we have to sum divided by total number. There are 7 subjects, so total number of subjects are 7, so we divide it by 7 to find its average. The sum is divided by total number of subjects to have its average. Now average is find. You can check just by run the program and check. Sorry, we haven't. Simply see out average to check is our program working or not. And let's suppose this Ali 44, 55, 66, 12, 88, 55, 90. So the average is 58.75. Here you saw that the average is in points. As we use data type float, we just use float for this concept that average is always in points, not a whole number. So we use float here with every variable. Now our program is working good. So what we have to do next, we have to assign grades to them. You know that above 85% marks or above 85 average we scored A plus, below 85 we have B, then we have C, and then D, and it's going on. But we will use only 4: A, B, C, D and F. F means fail. So what we will do and how to assign grades to any number. Here we use conditional statement or if-else statement. The concept of conditional statement and if-else statement is taught in a very previous video. You can go to the channel and watch the conditional statement video to learn this concept, because this concept is very important in our upcoming videos and upcoming concepts. So you must know about the conditional statements, how to use and what's the syntax. So if average we got is equal to equal to not greater than 85 and it's a logical operator, and average is less than 100. You can also add equal to, means if the average is equal to 85, you can say that the student out. We can execute his name as we use what we use for name. Data type used for name is A has we will do, we simply assign within commas. A has got A grade. It's good. Now else if is not followed, then else if is followed. Average is less than 85 and average is greater than 75, or you can say that 70. Then what we will see out, A has got B grade. We are learning the concept how to assign grades. Now else if average is less than 70 and average is greater than 60, see out, we just copy this step for our ease. C grade. Then else if average is less than 60 and average is greater than 50. We also add equal to, means if it equal to 60, it's also B or C grade, so also add equal to here, otherwise the actual 50, 60, 70 is ignored. D grade. You can simply use else here, but for your convenience, for your ease, I am just adding else if, so you can understand it in a better way. Average is less than 50, simply has got F grade. Now it's for average. If we want to show the sum of subjects, so here we can add cout, add handle to make it beautiful, and then use you can add the total marks of, we can add name here of that particular student is equal to, here we will see out sum, as we stored sum in the sum variable, it will show the total marks, then it will assign the average, and at the end the grades are assigned. Now if we want to apply, we want to check his or her status, either he is pass or not, we will apply another if else statement. If average is greater than equal to 50, simply cout passed. Yeah, or you can add is passed. Here I am not using the concept of else, simply I am using else cout and paste here where we write is not passed if marks are less than 50. Now run the program and check. Same, the name is Ali, 55, 66, 77, 88, 99, again 55, 44. Now you can check that total marks are 484. Ali has got C grade. Ali is passed. As you know that average is above some number, so it's showing that Ali is passed. We have applied the condition that if average is above 50, so the student is passed, otherwise he is or she is failed. So you can check. Now we can apply some conditions that the total marks of Ali is equal to 485. We can assign here that total marks are, before sum we enter that total marks we can enter as 7 subjects, so we can here add 700. Then you can simply add that the total obtained marks, how much he obtained, and then instead of not pass you can say that is failed. Now we have to perform certain limitations, certain input validation. We can say that. What is input validation? We apply restrictions to user. Suppose, what restrictions we can apply to this? See in biology marks, what we apply? We can say that marks can neither be less than 0 nor greater than 100. User can enter here greater than 100 and less than 0, but marks are never greater than 100 if we have total marks 100, and never be less than 0 in the condition we have not negative marking. So we have not negative marking, so here we apply input validation. The concept of input validation is very vast, and we will understand it in a better way when we study loops, but we have to apply it. So for one condition we also use if statement here, if conditional statements, if else statements. Okay, what we will do, we will hear that if bio means marks entered in bio is less than 0, या फिर या or these two slashes show that or and or gate या or statement, ठीक. Okay, or bio is greater than 100. If these either of these condition is true, it will see in bio again the marks enter bio again. You can show here a message that enter valid marks or something else you want, valid marks. Same concept you can apply with all these marks. See, and then paste more, change subject names. This concept is called input validation. We apply restrictions to user. In loops we will discuss it in loops we will discuss or understand it in a clear way. For now we have to use only conditional statement, English, and again it's English. I hope it's enough. You can understand just and then apply yourself to all other statements. You can check it either it's working or not. We have applied to first 3 subjects, so we will check Ali. We enter the marks, suppose -8. What it will do? He says enter valid marks, means we have entered less than 0, so the program asked us to enter valid marks, so we enter 60, which is good. Now for chemistry we enter greater than 100. What it will do? It again says enter valid marks, means we have to enter marks less than 155. Okay, it's working, you can check. So today we learn many concepts. First, how to find the sum, then how to find the average of some marks, and then how to assign grades to them, and then at the last we understand the concept of input validation. It's very important in our upcoming videos or in our upcoming lectures, or you can say that in your near future. Input validation is very important. You have to apply restrictions to users, so this concept is very important. Till now we use only if statement to apply input validation, but in near future when we will study loops we will clear it in a very you can say that understand it clearly, because we can apply the good input validation through loops only. What is the difference between if else restrictions, or you can say input validation and loops validation? If this statement, if statement execute only once, means if a user enter less than 0, the program if statement is executed and it will ask the user to enter the value again. But if the user again enter less than 0, it will not execute that. So when we study loop will ask the user again and again to enter the value till the conditions are okay, conditions are true. So this is a big difference between input validation while using if statement and loops. Now many students or many viewers asked me to share some practice questions, so you have to apply this concept and to write a program in which you have to ask the user to enter the name of 3 to 4 students. Then you have to enter their respective marks of 3 to 4 subjects of each student separately. Means you have to take 3 variables for names, then you have to take 3 to 4 variables for their marks for each respective student. Then what we have to do, you have to store the sum of each student separately, their average separately. Then you have to assign grades to them separately. Just assign and store, not see out, no show them on console. What you have to show on console, your program should ask the user for which student, for whose data you want, or whose numbers you want to check, or whose credentials you want to check. So the user enter the name of that particular student, and then your program should show that the total marks of that particular student, his or her grade, and his or her status, either he is passed or not. Moreover, you can do many things with this program. You can ask the user to tell me the marks of any particular subject, etc. You can do many things. So your practice, you have to do many questions like this. You can play with your program, you can play with your programming, you can play with your concepts. Hope this video is very beneficial and fruitful for you. So thank you at the end, and thanks for watching this video.